The N-word holds the distinction of being the only term in America I would get in trouble saying under any context. But to be clear, I have no intention of discussing the history of why that is the case. Instead, I was recently looking back at all the creators who have gotten into trouble for saying it over the years and asked myself the question, are there 100 of them? And the answer to that question turned out to be a resounding yes. Before we get into today's list though, I just want to make two things crystal clear. One, I'm not trying to cancel any of these YouTubers. Quite frankly, that wouldn't be my place. And two, soon after my research began, I realized that there was a lot of gray area in what categorizes someone as white. Since I also don't have any interest in that discussion, I'll change the title of this video to 100 non-black YouTubers who said the N-word to get ahead of any commenters trying to debate me on said subject. You might also ask why on earth I'm making this video, and the answer to that is because I can. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the list. I thought it would be fitting to begin this video with one of the most notable examples of them all. Felix Kjellberg is a Swedish YouTuber far better known online as PewDiePie. He first gained popularity in 2011 for his playthroughs of horror games. By the summer of 2013, he became the first YouTuber to ever reach 15 million subscribers. When people thought of YouTube, they thought of PewDiePie, and the company seemed to embrace their de facto face. However, as 2016 rolled around, Felix's content veered into commentary and grew noticeably edgier. That January, he uploaded a video celebrating being ranked one of the top 100 most handsome faces. 18! This direction would end up backfiring when a month later, the Wall Street Journal published an article about perceived anti-Semitic comments. While most viewers defended his jokes as being taken out of context, the companies they reached out to felt differently. Disney dropped him as a sponsor, and his YouTube Red show, Scare PewDiePie, was cancelled. Things became even more chaotic when Felix was live streaming himself playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. After firing at an enemy, the YouTuber had what internet user Ian Miles Chong would unironically coin as a heated gamer moment.
What a fucking nigger. Jeez, oh my god, what the fuck? Sorry, but what the fuck?
This clip set the internet on fire, with everyone weighing in on his heat of the moment slur use. Many pointed out the fact that he said it accidentally meant that he was likely comfortable using it off camera. In the coming days, the incident was covered by outlets like Rolling Stone and BBC. For his part, Felix apologized in a post stating there were no excuses for what he said. Even all these years later, the clip lives in infamy, especially because it directly spawned the phrase heated gamer moment. To this day, the PUBG location seen in the video is called the PewDiePie Bridge by many players, and for some, just seeing the location gives them some nostalgia for that era. While known nowadays for being a not-so-grump on the Let's Play channel Game Grumps, Aaron Hansen was initially famous for making flash animations under the alias Egoraptor. He first rose to prominence in the mid-2000s, creating parodies of beloved video games. Within a few years, Aaron was the most popular user on the site. He also uploaded his cartoons to YouTube, helping reach an even wider audience. By 2011, his channel hit 30 million views. Aaron, as well as his co-host Jontron, were already quite well known when they launched Game Grumps a year later. With that said, Newgrounds and the internet as a whole were far different back then. Shocking offensive humor reigned supreme, and seemingly nothing was off the table. That takes us to a clip of Egoraptor on stream explaining, quote, the most racist thing he's ever done.
You dropped someone off who was black, you had to say like 30 times.
Oh, yeah.
To get out of your system.
To be fair, in this clip, it's actually his wife who says it, which makes Susie Burhow, better known online as Mortimer, the next entry on our list. However, there is no shortage of examples of Aaron saying it himself.
Fuck anime.
I take care of him. HXC. Yeah, for real. Yo.
Their usage of the N-word was similarly a running gag on early Game Grumps, enough to span a 5-minute compilation. A notorious example had Aaron hiding the N-word on a bulletin board in Animal Crossing. And yes, that also means Jontron, or John Jafari in real life, is also in this video.
You're gonna take coins from
ain't even got a cent, yo! Why you gotta be taken from a poor man?
Egoraptor and Jontron would split in June of 2013, with the genre replaced by comedy music duo Ninja Sex Party's Danny Sexbang. Aaron continued saying the N-word publicly as late as 2014, most notably on a song he made with 3 other Newgrounds alumni called Fat Refund.
I got instructions to file my deductions. I ain't no CPA. No way. I'm a fucking deducting master. He filed disaster.
The track also features 3 other rappers, Ricepirate, StamperTV, and Marc M, better known as the creator of Sick Animations and the voice of Mr. Boss on Smiling Friends. All 3 of these men are white, and each can be heard saying the N-word in the song. They're really making this easy for me. Stamper uses the N-word regularly, casually dropping slurs in posts on social media. Marc voices all the characters in Sick Animations, leading to instances of him saying the word in character.
That's my hammer. That's my fucking hammer, you white honky.
Over the years, Aaron would move away from his roots toward a more politically correct audience. After various clips resurfaced in 2019, he issued a public apology addressing his past use of slurs. I appeared on the trending tab today, and it is being used to bring up problematic things I've said in the past. I used to be an angry kid. I know now, and have known for quite some time, that certain words hurt, and I am ashamed of having used them. Anthony Fantano is an online personality best known for The Needle Drop, his YouTube channel where he discusses and reviews music. Having started his channel in 2009, he's now regarded as an influential figure helping many small acts get their first break. Many forget that in the mid to late 2010s though, he also earned respect from the broader YouTube commentary community through his secondary channel, That Is The Plan. Here he would upload off-the-cuff internet-centric videos. These often utilized the sort of edgy offensive humor that was commonplace at the time. With that said, his use of the N-word actually isn't in a comedic context, instead being a part of his response to IDubbbz content cop on LeafyIsHere. But unlike most of his peers, Fantano wasn't entirely on board. He pointed out that while Leafy was morally questionable for picking on children and the disabled, IDubbbz wasn't exactly in a place to talk either, specifically pointing to his treatment of Pisces.
Who infamously called Ian a and now he just kind of quotes that to death. That dude clearly had a few screws loose, but Ian really had no problem with putting him on blast to make him look ridiculous.
Sadly, That Is The Plan was short-lived, after Fader published an article accusing the music critic of being a racist, pointing to his second channel's content as proof. While Fantano was able to debunk the hit piece quite effectively, as well as get the article removed through legal action, his online presence was never the same. In the immediate aftermath, his speaking tour was cancelled, and following this, he would drift away from the commentary community entirely. With that said, his past has occasionally come back to haunt him, especially from the fans of artists he's ridiculed. This was the case when the N-word clip resurfaced 9 years later in August of 2025. Many took the Fader article at face value, with the new generation being exposed to this side of him for the first time. It became widespread enough that many genuinely wondered if he was a secret, covert bigot. In response, Anthony would upload a video titled, Taking Accountability.
Now, these are the same sorts of allegations that I have fought against and won before, and I'm happy to do it again because I have nothing to hide and I know they're not true.
Max Gilardi, better known online as HotDiggetyDemon, is an animator known for his parodies and original series. His style blends 2D and 3D techniques, having an impressive output despite being a one-man show. Max first began posting cartoons on Newgrounds in 2003 when he was 15. They were an immediate hit, turning him into a popular figure on the site. Despite this, he never became a part of the Newgrounds alumni in-group. In 2010, 10 animators, including Aaron Hansen, Oni, and StamperTV, released their collaboration Africa Dudes. It heavily relies on controversial humor, all derived from the simple premise of 2 men standing around in Africa. It's in this series we would hear an N-bomb from Chris O'Neill, also known by the alias Oni.
I can't find the AC adapter to my laptop, man. Did you take it?
Yes, and I sold it for whores and opium. What are you going to do about it?
Max was noticeably absent, responding by creating his own entry called Kenya Dudes. It ends with the animator talking to the camera while ranting about how much better his cartoon was.
You made a mistake, I guess, and now you're just jealous because my cartoon is better than your cartoon.
And finally, to loop back around, Oni's longtime friend and collaborator, Psychicpebbles, aka Zach Hadel, one of the creators of Adult Swim's Smiling Friends, frequently said the N-word on their YouTube podcast, Sleepy Cabin.
Hey, what's up?
For clarity, these clips are over a decade old, dating back to 2015 when Zach was 22. Turkey Tom is a creator known for his documentaries about internet-related subjects. He first created his channel in 2015, originally to review cartoons and make animated storytime videos. He gradually veered into commentary, finding success criticizing other YouTubers. This quickly got him in hot water for making controversial jokes, with the backlash only making him ramp up the edginess. This culminated in November 2019 when black commentator D'Angelo Wallace called him out for making racist jokes. He then shared screenshots of Tom repeatedly using the N-word. To be fair, these messages were from a year prior when Tom was 16. The expose had a lasting impact on his reputation, following him on social media for years. But this faded over time as he found an audience that came fully aware of this fact. Tom has since stated he intentionally makes offensive comments to filter out the easily offended or those who would try to cancel him. Whatever your thoughts are on that strategy, it seems to have worked out for him so far, with his channel amassing over 1.5 million subscribers. Bowblax, real name Josh, is a Canadian YouTuber best known for Twitter Versus, a series where he documents the public's reaction to online drama through tweets. Josh's first break came in 2018 when one of his videos was struck down by Twitch streamer Pokimane. The false takedown led commentary channels to rally behind him. Soon after, he became a co-host on RFC After Hours, a popular live stream drama show created by AugieRFC. By 2023, Bowblax's channel surpassed 300,000 subscribers, although this wasn't without its challenges. Most pertinent to our list today would be a song he created in 2016 that didn't resurface until half a decade later. Simply titled The Struggle, it was made in the midst of the Black Lives Matter protests that summer. Revealing an edgier phase of his life, Josh can be heard openly rapping the N-word multiple times while making clicking noises.
Sometimes we say cause it's cool, but if anyone else says they are racist.
Relatively harmless, but a sharp contrast to the kind of wholesome persona he had cultivated up until that point. When the clip resurfaced in 2020, he quickly began striking down re-uploads. This was controversial given his previous stances on fair use. When called out on this by commentator Nicholas Diorio during a Super Mario Sunshine Let's Play, Bowblax had a mental breakdown live.
No, that's not an apology! There's no apology! That's explanation! Let me speak! You
He eventually lightened up once it was clear the song wouldn't ruin his career. His audience was accustomed to edgy humor, turning the rap into an inside joke on RFC. Ultimately, Bowblax embraced the song, and most people likely viewed it as too absurd to seriously be offended by.
I'd like to hear from Bobby if he...
we are black.
Okay, alright.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. What was he, like 12 when he made that one?
I think it was last year.
Yeah, I think it was just like a year or two ago.
Iman Anis is a Moroccan-Canadian live streamer best known by her online moniker Pokimane. When she took a DNA test, it was discovered she was also 10.5% European, which justifies me putting her in this video. She created her Twitch account in 2013, originally to play League of Legends. Her commentary, choice of games, and relation to other streamers broadened over time. She's become one of the main faces of Twitch, even being given her own ad spot that played in movie theaters. It led her to earn a reputation of being inoffensive and less risky compared to her other peers. With that said, Twitch's darling hadn't always been a brand-friendly face. In the early days, she was prone to the sort of trash talk you would expect from the average heated gamer. This takes us to a clip from 2014 when she was 17. You see, despite only having streamed for a year, her account had grown at a rapid pace. This led other streamers, most of whom were men, to grow jealous. Many undermined her success publicly, arguing she had it easier simply because she was a female. Frustrated, Poki would end up responding to the sentiment on stream, having less than kind words to say about her detractors.
You ain't funny. That's not true. Maybe you're just boring as fuck and lame as hell. Cause only lame say that shit.
The full rant was uploaded to YouTube by hate watchers, who also accused her of viewbotting. However, it largely went unnoticed as her career saw a meteoric rise in 2017. The clip wouldn't resurface until early 2019, after a different N-word related incident brought it to light. That March, while playing League of Legends, viewers were shocked to hear her casually drop the N-bomb again.
Damn. This getting cooked.
Poki quickly clarified she was saying this is Aniva, with Aniva being the name of a champion in League of Legends. Trolls began replying with the clip from 2014, leading her to address the incident for the first time ever. In a reply on Twitter, she explained that back then it was common online to use the N-word like you're saying dude. I was on the internet back then and I don't recall that being the case though. Even with her defense being that her use of the term was not racist or derogatory, she made it clear her position had changed since then. It's been many years and I don't ever say it now because I realize it's distasteful and looks bad. I've never said it in a racist way, hard R either, just in a cringy way unfortunately. This did little to stop the clip from circulating, nor did the video she made a year later addressing the subject again called My Overdue Apology. How she said it, how many times she said it, and how brand safe she had become since she said it gave it a lot of comedic value. Pokimane saying the N-word lives on through memes, soundboards, and even a producer tag used by underground artists. Augustus Marks, or Augie for short, is an American streamer best known for creating RFC After Hours, a live show where he and a rotating panel of guests discuss online drama, like the aforementioned Bowblax. The series started in 2019 with humble beginnings, streaming to less than 100 people, but he quickly gained traction as larger YouTubers began calling in. After Hours satisfied an otherwise unfulfilled niche in commentary. It allowed creators to share their opinion in a more off-the-cuff manner and gave them a platform for debate. At times, Augie could average 1,000 to 2,000 viewers per stream, depending on the drama. He occasionally ended up part of the story, typically for making off-color jokes. Take, for example, his response to a black caller offering him an N-word pass.
Can I say right now?
Optics. Yeah, go ahead, dog.
Hell yeah, my let's go. Let's go.
Let's go!
These sorts of shenanigans led critics to accuse him of being a Nazi, but this did little to stop his popularity from increasing. After Hours concluded on its 330th episode, which litigated his fallout with the E-Show's previous co-host, Bowblax. When he returned in 2024, he began openly using the N-word on Twitter, securing his rightful spot on this list. Calvin Lee Vale, better known as LeafyIsHere, is an American YouTuber from Swedish and Asian heritage, known for his reaction-style drama videos. Leafy is considered one of the commentary community's founding members. He was a Titan in 2016, amassing 4.8 million subs during the golden era of drama videos. And just like many of his peers, he was no stranger to using the N-word if the right gag called for it.
Snap, rap, get out of here, you can't rap.
Leafy was particularly controversial for targeting children and disabled people, frequently getting accused of cyberbullying. Overwhelming backlash as well as changes to the algorithm led him to retire in 2017. He wouldn't return until 2020, after his former nemesis IDubbbz got in hot water when his now wife made an OnlyFans account. There was enough interest that he started uploading again regularly. He was noticeably less filtered than before, adopting more extremist views in his time offline, which also meant more frequent use of the N-word.
Are you saying the N-word?
Please.
That August, his YouTube channel was banned for harassment, leading him to pivot to streaming, something he continues to do semi-regularly. Niall Murphy, or Pyrocynical online, is an English commentary YouTuber who rose to fame in 2016. He originally got his start making montage parodies, defined by their abrasive, overproduced style. This changed in favor of Leafy-style gameplay commentary. Though they covered similar subjects, Pyro was uniquely his own person, rapidly amassing an audience. By June of 2016, his channel reached 1 million subscribers. A year later, that number doubled. Today, his main account sits at 4 million, and in that time, he's diversified into stream highlights, facecam videos, and high-effort video essays. With that said, given his roots, it's perhaps not a surprise to learn that he has casually used the N-bomb.
Accept her gifts? Nah, I want no fucking herpes.
Got a lot of comments. His hair looks like Hiroshima.
But to his credit, from what I can tell, it's been a few years since the last time he has said the N-word publicly. No Fuckers, real name Roman, is a Russian YouTuber known for his videos about his native country aimed towards English-speaking Western viewers. He created his first channel in 2010 and first rose to prominence making MLG parodies just like Pyro. Around 2016, he veered toward drama commentary, making rants about figures like Keemstar. He was part of the in-group, having met Pyro before the YouTuber blew up. But this was usually at his expense, being a punching bag for their collaborations. For example, they turned an image of his face into a popular meme. The photo was taken when he was 16, which is also when he recorded Nobody Can Touch My Swag, a parody of Tyler the Creator's track Yonkers.
Nobody can touch my swag.
This didn't harm his career, and in fact had the exact opposite effect. All the memes doubled as advertising, properly setting their expectations for a sense of humor. Nowadays, Roman provides serious commentary about Russian society and current events. This has performed far better than his previous shtick did, helping him amass 1.2 million subscribers. Justin Bieber is a Canadian songwriter who first rose to fame after several of his performances went viral on an early YouTube. At the age of 13, he was offered a professional record deal, releasing his first album, My World, in 2009. Within a year, Justin had become an international sensation. He was so inescapable, many began to hate the teen idol out of spite. His hit single, Baby, even achieved the most viewed video on YouTube status for a period of time. Unfortunately, the young pop star's clean image would fade as he continued to grow up in the public eye. Justin started acting out, getting arrested on a DUI, as well as peeing in a mop bucket. These scandals led some to call for him to be deported back to Canada. A public petition to the White House got over 270,000 signatures to kick him out. The Obama administration ultimately decided not to, though maybe the first black president would have regretted this response if he had known what would happen next. During the peak of this Justin Bieber hate, a source would end up leaking previously unreleased footage to the press. Filmed in 2011, the clip shows a 15-year-old Bieber saying the N-word several times as part of a crude punchline.
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it. Don't say it.
In response, Justin issued an apology emphasizing he had learned from his mistakes in private and stopped using the word long ago. I'm very sorry. I take all my friendships with people of all cultures very seriously. I thought it was okay to repeat hurtful words and jokes, but I didn't realize at the time that it wasn't funny. Ignorance has no place in our society, and I hope the sharing of my faults can prevent others from making the same mistake in the future. The next day, a second video was released by TMZ, once again from when he was 15. This clip shows Bieber singing the lyrics to his hit song One Less Lonely Girl, except with a baffling twist.
One less lonely nigga.
Justin issued another apology through the Sun. I just hope the next 14-year-old kid who doesn't understand the power of these words does not make the same mistakes I made years ago. In the end, these clips didn't seem to have any long-lasting effect on his career. He continued to make hit after hit. However, they do resurface every so often from those trying to unearth the pop star's long list of dirty laundry spanning his career. Trainwrecks is an American live streamer. He first joined Twitch in 2015, broadcasting himself gaming and hanging out IRL. Train developed a reputation for his explosive short temper and epic long-winded rants. One such tirade, directed at female streamers he perceived to be sluts, got him a 5-day ban in 2017. With time, he was able to temper himself and rehabilitate his image, amassing 2.1 million followers on Twitch. Of course, like any streamer, Train is still prone to screwing up live on air. Such is the case of this clip when he got carried away singing along to Billy by rapper Tekashi69.
I'm a killer too!
The sheer amount of fear makes it look like he's watching his career flash before his eyes. After all, Twitch's enforcement is notoriously unpredictable and arbitrary. It wouldn't be surprising to learn this resulted in a ban, but from what I can tell, no action was actually taken against him. In recent years, Train has left Twitch in order to stream on Kick, in part due to a lucrative multi-hundred-million-dollar deal with the crypto-based online casino Stake. Despite vocal criticisms of his sponsorship, he's now at a point where none of that really matters. Funnily enough, the exact song that got Train in trouble would trip up another Kick streamer named Chessur in 2023. Chessur later claimed to have thought he was offline, which I'm not actually sure is a good response to the criticism. There are a surprising number of creators that have been caught slipping up in this regard. Musician and occasional streamer Brendon Urie was also caught in this trap.
Double up what you need, we got weed.
Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II, known online as Destiny, is an American live streamer and political commentator. He was among the first people to stream video games online full-time in 2011. In the early days, Destiny was known for playing StarCraft II competitively. He became notorious for his abrasive and confrontational style. This would often include offensive comments such as his unapologetic use of slurs. These positions would get him in trouble numerous times. The first time he got signed to a team, a Redditor threatened to release a compilation they made of him saying the N-word. Destiny would end up inviting this user for a conversation on stream.
I'm sorry? What am I doing that's hurting people when I use the N-word? Because obviously you're taking effect with this because what I'm doing is harmful in some way. How is it harmful to people when I use the N-word?
Unlike some other people on this list, Destiny has never moved away from this stance. He would infamously have an N-word arc in 2019 after defending the use of slurs as not intrinsically harmful. This argument caused tensions between him and his podcast co-host Trihex, who, as a black man, took issue with his stance. This only continued to escalate as he was repeatedly confronted on the subject, including by ex-associate Hassan Piker. There was a serious risk to his career here, given that he was closely associated to the left. He would ultimately write a manifesto addressing these events, as well as clarifying his positions to the public. It was successful in rehabilitating his image and convincing most of the public he wasn't racist. In recent years, he's gotten comfortable enough to say it on camera, such as this clip from a 2024 episode of his podcast, Anything Else.
What up,
No! I'm alive!
But not everyone has accepted it, with his casual usage also leading him to receive death threats.
He said the N-word on stream with his own face. Can somebody just like, it would just be so easy to just, it will solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point.
Nick Fuentes is a far-right commentator who first gained attention in the late 2010s. He is the leader of the Groyper movement, infamous for their outspoken presence on social media. Nick made a name for himself by antagonizing mainstream conservatism, going viral after fans began trolling high-profile speakers like Ben Shapiro at events. Fuentes' extremist views have gotten him banned from social media platforms as well as air travel. Thus, it should surprise no one that this Hispanic white supremacist had said the N-word many times. In fact, he would make a big show of using a hard R instead of the soft A on stream.
But you gotta say it. Don't say say. You can do it. You can say it. You wanna know why? That's the difference between them getting mad.
In recent years, he's become known for his close association with Kanye West, helping inspire tracks off his latest album, Cuck, like Gas Chambers and Cousins. Vaush is a political streamer and horse lover known for his advocacy of left-wing beliefs. He got his big break by being part of Destiny's community before starting his own channel in 2019. There he rose to prominence, debating figures like Sargon of Akkad. Vaush positioned himself against so-called woke scolds, criticizing the left's frequent purity testing. He defended certain usages of slurs, even employing one as part of a debate tactic while on the kill stream.
You realize they were N-words in the SS,
Dude,
right?
you can just say n.
This moment became infamous for both how he said it and the explanation he pinned in the comments describing it as a tactical N-bomb. In this video, I drop an N-bomb. Big one. Hard R. I did this to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress me, that their slurs don't frighten or disarm me. You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move, which I am entirely unashamed of, but I understand how that language might have upset some of you. This is an example of what I would call an invocation of a slur's power for good, but that's a subjective judgment. This comment satisfied his fans, and while he'd move away from such bold displays, he also never went back to apologize for this strategic play either. Filthy Frank is a character created by the half-white, half-Japanese George Miller, who is now more known as the world-famous pop star Joji. His first video with this more rough-around-the-edges persona was created in 2011 when he was still just a kid in college. The Filthy Frank show quickly gained recognition for its oddball characters and clever satirical humor. Several of his earliest videos clickbait him saying the N-word as an Australian Japanese man.
My gets bigger, cause I'm a crazy. I just want to be able to recite my gangster rap lyrics straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube from a gang called...
The Frank character is still beloved even a decade after it ended for its creativity and line-crossing humor, a style that probably couldn't survive on present-day YouTube. Easily his most influential contribution was inventing the Harlem Shake trend in 2013. In 2016, Joji began collaborating with fellow creators Max Mofo, IDubbbz, and How2Basic. Dubbed the Cancer Crew by fans, they recorded extreme challenge videos, earning them a jackass-like reverence amongst millennial and Gen Z viewers. 1 year later, Joji released Pink Season, the studio debut of the Filthy Frank character Pink Guy. This album also served as the channel's last hurrah. Following its release, a handful of tracks were removed off streaming for their offensive content. Most pertinent to our list for today is the extremely catchy White is Right, a song about white American stereotypes.
White is right, and white is good. Keep those back in the hood.
Following Pink Season, Joji retired the Filthy Frank character. He subsequently signed a record deal with 88 Rising and got to work on his first studio album. Given his newfound fame as a pop star, many have wondered if his past will ever come back to haunt him. The thing is, whenever the subject arises, thousands are quick to rush to his defense. It shows how many are appreciative of his old content and unwilling to let Filthy Frank be used against him. Trisha Paytas is an American model who first gained attention through a string of eccentric TV appearances in the 2010s. She scored notable gigs early in her career, including music videos for Eminem, Amy Winehouse, and the All-American Rejects. But it wasn't until the rise of social media that Trisha made her mark. Her chaotic online antics earned her both a massive following and widespread criticism. One example was her stance on the N-word, arguing it wasn't racist to sing along or read a script containing the slur. She put this to practice with numerous clips of her rapping the N-word.
A young got a bag cause I'm brown, searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every is selling narcotics.
To this day, she is still frequently called out for being a so-called racist, with her saying the N-word being just one of the many examples used to prove it. Daniel Keem, better known as Keemstar, was the host of Drama Alert, arguably the first YouTube show covering internet feuds, scandals, and gossip. He built his following by stoking controversy and at times inserting himself into the drama he reported on. Before Drama Alert, he had gotten his start in 2010 as a trash-talking internet troll in the Federation of Asshole Gamers. This led him to sites like BattleCam where streamers would fight each other. It was during one such back and forth with a black man named Alex that he would unleash his now infamous rant on Blog TV.
I'm on Blog TV with my fucking hands up. I'm not starting my fucking self. You fucking stupid bitch. This stupid fucking justice, all fucking righteous fucking Alex is doing this shit. You fucking
That was really bad.
Keem explained this behavior as being due to the fact that both him and Alex were both moderators on Battlecam. The site had a feature that placed users in a queue so they could appear on the front page. Moderators were able to start themselves by putting them at the front of the line. In order to frame him, Alex began starting Keem over and over again. This is why he throws his hands up to prove he's not starting himself. Still, the fact remains that he is calling a black man the N-word out of anger. While the clip never went away, it only truly exploded once Drama Alert took off in 2016. Public opinion soured fast as Keem became one of the most hated creators on YouTube. The Alex clip was used as proof he was a white supremacist, forcing him to address the matter.
And this is a 7-year-old clip. I was wrong for saying that, and I just don't know how many more times I can say sorry.
That remains true even a decade later, as he still has to acknowledge the infamous rant from time to time. This is due to how recognizable it is, becoming a meme and getting remixed in thousands of different videos, possibly ranking as the most memorable N-bomb on the entire list. Under the moniker IDubbbz, a man named Ian became a major YouTube figure in the mid-2010s. His Content Cop series targeted other creators, mixing serious callouts with insult-laced comedy. IDubbbz's brand was built on edginess. He regularly used slurs, adopting the phrase N-word, F-word after being called one in his series Kickstarter crap.
And it's pissing me off for the last draw. I'm sick and tired of that motherfucking You're so fucking...
I'd like to solve the puzzle. What is...
The original culprit was the creator of a project he mocked called the Cybermatrix 100, which secures its inventor Pisces as having a spot on our list. IDubbbz's channel grew exponentially after collaborations with the aforementioned Cancer Crew, but he truly made a name for himself with his Content Cop on Keemstar in May of 2016. Part of what made Ian so appealing is that he made moral arguments while still employing edgy humor. Unlike other callouts which claimed Keem was racist, Ian said slurs himself. This brings us to his most controversial installment focused on Tana Mojo. Ian first learned of the influencer after she called him out on Twitter for saying the N-word. Curious, he looked into her past, finding many instances of her using the word when she was between the ages of 12 and 14.
You know you're a stupid right?
This would snowball into what became a new Content Cop, the climax of which being IDubbbz traveling to one of the 18-year-old's meet and greets in person to say the N-word to her face.
Say...
The video received 35 million views, with the public overwhelmingly taking his side. He used the situation to argue other points related to the subject.
We are very fucking stupid to hold the word at this colossally high standard, whereas every other slur, that can be used in a comedic sense or an editorial sense, but not this one, because that one has history. Well, guess what, all the other ones have history too.
Ian would end up regretting many of these stances, later apologizing to all of the subjects of his Content Cops and unlisting them from his channel. He made the now often mocked claim that he, quote, developed empathy at the age of 32. The only video that remains from the series is a newer controversial entry he made against his former pal and associate Ethan Klein. Speaking of which... H3H3 Productions is an Israeli-American comedy channel run by married couple Ethan and Hila Klein. They rose to fame for the reaction videos mocking cringe and other internet absurdity. With over 6 million subscribers, they became a staple of mid-2010s YouTube. As the reaction format faded, Klein shifted towards podcasting. This transition was far from graceful, as the H3 podcast turned him into a more divisive figure. Their humor had always been quite edgy, with early H3 videos having jokes about child abuse, sexual assault, and of course, the N-word.
How many dicks I got to suck?
How many dicks I got to suck?
One early episode of their podcast would feature their longtime friend and collaborator IDubbbz TV. Known at the time for his liberal use of the N-word, Ethan took this opportunity to indulge himself.
So it didn't even start from him?
No, I don't think so.
So it's just been around the block?
Yeah.
Everyone's just been borrowing it from each other.
Yeah.
Or it's just a wonderful string of words that really gets you going.
Yeah.
These clips continue to haunt Ethan to this day, especially as he began to appeal to progressive communities. There are several compilations of him saying the N-word, alongside a slew of other videos they claim prove him and his wife to be racist. That includes a tweet from Ela Klein where she says the N-word, making both of them eligible for an entry on my list. Dane Kevin Cook, or Uncle Dane, is a creator known for his videos about the multiplayer class shooter Team Fortress 2. Dave rose to prominence making well-edited essays about the Valve Classic. But he actually got his start on YouTube much earlier, playing Ash Ketchum in the classic early internet series Stupid Mario Brothers. His earliest appearance is from January 2008. Another unexpected connection is his close friendship with IDubbbz. The two met through a mutual on Skype in 2015. They stayed in touch after the latter exploded in popularity a year later. Dane actually has a pivotal contribution to IDubbbz Content Cop on Keemstar. He sings the parody of All-Star that plays when Ian shoots Drama Alert-themed gnomes. The lyrics reference Keem's greatest hits, which of course includes the infamous Alex clip.
So, I'm making death threats and I'm calling people counting that cash on my channel's growing bigger.
While IDubbbz has since apologized for his use of slurs and the series as a whole, Dane doesn't seem to view it the same way. In a 2022 appearance on the Chuckle Nuts podcast, he explained that although his views on the word hadn't changed, it was no longer socially acceptable to say.
People always bring that up though, but I mean, it was funny to rhyme it with whatever I rhymed it with, I think. And also, it's not like I was using it, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it. And you're right, it's not something I would do now. I honestly feel kind of uncomfortable saying it now just because it's just a different time.
In recent years, Dane has uploaded the track to Spotify despite the occasional comment from unexpecting fans. It's easily his most streamed song on the platform with over 1.2 million plays. Chad Roberts, or Anything for Views, is an Australian YouTuber and co-host of the podcast Cold Ones. He is most well known for his collaborations with the Cancer Crew throughout 2016. Yes, most of these guys are in the video. In 2018, Chad began appearing on live streams with Ice Poseidon being a central part of his famous RV streams. There, he faced backlash for singling people out, most notably berating the only black woman and calling her the N-word.
I first met him, he's like,
What the?
Yeah, I did.
No way.
I did.
No way.
I did.
No way.
I did.
This conduct got him permanently banned from Twitch. 7 years later, in 2024, Chad issued a public statement apologizing for his previous racist and sexist comments. I said some horrid racist and sexist things on stream because it made a chat move quicker and made me feel like it was entertaining. It's been 7 years and not a day goes past that I don't look back on those days and absolutely tear myself up inside. Thank you all for watching my stuff, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry for being the selfish dumbass I was. It's worth mentioning that Chad was just 20 when he began collaborating with some of the biggest YouTubers on the site. While that doesn't excuse his behavior, it offers a bit more insight as to how young and impressionable he was. His apology, while unexpected, was accepted by their audience, who continue to support Max and Chad on their endeavors to this very day. Interestingly enough, the only person of the Cancer Crew that will not be included in this list is Max Mofo, as I wasn't able to find a single instance of him saying the word. Alex Elmsley, better known as I'm Alex, is a British YouTuber best known for his commentary on trending topics. He started making drama videos in 2016, gaining popularity after networking with other creators in Britain. Like many of his peers, Alex embraced edgy humor and went out of his way to defend other people's use of the N-word.
The N-word is a funny moment. IDubbbz said the N-word.
However, this only lasted as long as it was popular to do so. Alex's success largely came after he was exiled from the commentary community for his involvement in spreading false allegations. This required a safer, more widely appealing soft boy persona, which paid off with his channel reaching 2 million subscribers with a new gay and female audience. This all came crashing down in 2024 though, when he was accused of physical and emotional abuse by his ex-partner. This included photo and video evidence of him threatening to end her life.
You don't feel like you don't clean up after yourself. Neither do you. So, we're even. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It should be noted that his girlfriend was white, which makes the comments all the more baffling. After a response that came too late and failed to address her biggest criticisms, it's hard to imagine how his career could possibly survive after this breakdown. Red Letter Media is a channel known for their long-form movie critiques and dry, sarcastic humor. It was founded by Mike Stoklasa, who gained attention after making a series of in-depth reviews about the Star Wars prequels as the character Mr. Plinkett. These videos were highly influential, helping shape the first wave of YouTube movie reviewers. While the channel has since grown past the series, it's during Mr. Plinkett's review of Star Trek First Contact we hear the closest he gets to the N-word.
Okay, my niggas, dig this.
Although technically not the full word, most fans still consider it an N-bomb, and I felt it deserved a place on this list. Nick Mullen is a comedian best known for hosting the podcast Come Town with friends Adam Friedland and Stav Hulkius. The show is beloved for its juvenile offensive humor. Between the three hosts, Nick uses the N-word the most, even opening some bonus episodes with the slur.
Bill Maher, the guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bill Maher, the guy.
The show's punching bag, Adam, is also no stranger to saying the word as well.
You think what's the wildest shit you think he'll say? You think he'll say Bill Clinton is a rapist?
He's gonna say
In June of 2022, after 6 years, Stav left the pod to pursue his own career without him ever having said the N-word himself. Bill Maher is a comedian, writer, actor, and host of the political talk show Real Time on HBO. I put him in this video because in more recent times he has also run the YouTube show Club Random. He built his brand on mocking religion, political correctness, and anything he sees as overly sensitive. But in June 2017, he self-admittedly took it a step too far. While interviewing Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, he made a quip after the guest said he'd love to have Bill work in the fields with them.
We'd love to have you work in the fields with us. Work in the fields? That's part of that. That's Senator. I'm a house.
This out-of-nowhere N-bomb live on air was criticized by viewers across the political spectrum. There were calls for a show to be cancelled. The network was quick to denounce it, calling the remark completely inexcusable and tasteless. Bill slept on the matter before issuing a public apology the next day. Friday nights are always my worst night of sleep because I'm up reflecting on the things I should or shouldn't have said on my live show. Last night was a particularly long night as I regret the word I used in the banter of a live moment. The word was offensive and I regret saying it and am very sorry. Ultimately, Bill was allowed to keep his position, with Real Time continuing to this very day. Lemonade stand operator Rusty Cage is a musician most well known for creating the Knife Song, which became a viral sensation immediately upon its release. But the artist has a large catalog of videos beyond that. Most of his commentary is quite offensive, from tracks like White Girls F Dogs to the family-friendly Noose Song. He's also never been afraid of using caricatures and stereotypes. He has said the N-word numerous times across his channel, be it in song covers or simply for comedic effect.
I don't give a f about eating bugs. I seen them niggas in India do it, they don't even take drugs.
In 2018, Rusty collaborated with YouTubers Emplemon and Mumkey Jones and rapper Asperger for a challenge video titled The Wheel of Punishment. They began making content together frequently, earning their own reputation as a sort of Cancer Crew light. Both Mumkey Jones and Asperger are white and have said the N-word as well, making them another 2 entries on our list. Mumkey would specifically confront the N-word in episode 6 of his anime review series. In the previous episode, he held a contest where a random commenter got to choose what he would say at the end of that video. The winner told him to say something racist, including the N-word. He was conflicted. Reading the comment in any context could ruin his future, period. But he didn't want to scam his fans. So he decided to make a rap song disavowing racism, stating the quote in a negative context, and ending things off by shaking hands with a black man.
I've heard your favorite saying, and I know it ain't right. You say are inferior to whites.
Lastly, I would like to call attention to another one of Mumkey's former co-hosts, transgender anime reviewer Trixie the Golden Witch, previously known as Digibro. Trixie enjoys creating alternative hip-hop, and in 2016 made a song about saying the N-word.
I nearly forgot that I'm white, so let me not say when I sing along to a rap song, because that would be racist.
Natalia Mojian, better known as Alinity, is a Colombian Twitch streamer and OnlyFans model. Originally streaming video games, she grew to favor the just chatting section, getting attention for her good looks. She rose to prominence in 2018 after several viral incidents that reflected badly on her. This would include throwing her cat on stream and feeding it vodka. Despite widespread backlash, Twitch was lenient toward her, leading to accusations of simping on the part of the staff. This became clear when a clip surfaced of Alinity saying the N-word.
Black friends call each other's like, kind of like calling your friend bitch, like as a good way. It's like making something good out of an oppressed word.
Though clearly used in a non-derogatory context, as well as it being debatable if light-skinned Colombians have a pass, it was hard to ignore that most other streamers would be punished on Twitch for this. Ultimately, the public outcry complaints fell on deaf ears, with Twitch continuing its selective enforcement in the years that followed. Sweet Anita is an English Twitch streamer who joined the site in 2018 to play Overwatch. The woman lives with Tourette's syndrome, dealing with her profanity-laden tics openly. She quickly gained popularity after clips of these outbursts went viral, particularly when they included the N-word.
Huh.
While shocking at first, the public was overwhelmingly understanding once they learned of her condition. Her transparency has helped raise awareness of the disorder, even hosting multiple fundraisers for the charity Tourette's Action. She has gone on to build a loyal following, amassing over 1 million followers on both Twitch and YouTube. TJ Kirk, better known as The Amazing Atheist, is a YouTuber who gained popularity in the late 2000s for his aggressive critiques of religion, politics, and social issues. He was one of the early figures in the site's skeptic community, best known for his confrontational rants. These videos often featured inflammatory language, like the N-word, which drew both support and backlash.
And a big middle finger that says, "F*** your God," you know, or "F*** it."
While distinguishing himself from later skeptics by staying vocally left-wing, he never relented on his view of the N-word. In 2015, he made a video on the subject after discussing a racist tirade by Hulk Hogan.
And in that video, I had to make a choice about the word. Do I say the word? Do I say the word and bleep it out? Or do I say the N-word? And I have a lot of different people telling me a lot of different things about what I should do, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do. If I say I'm in trouble because I'm a white person who just said.
To his credit, making a video saying the word to address the subject directly is a unique way to handle that conundrum. The comments are understandably mixed, ranging from those who felt it was okay, while others who stipulated it was fine so long as he didn't direct it at others. Adopting the alias Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin rose to prominence in the mid-2010s for his political commentary. He was an early member of the skeptic community, building a following by criticizing feminism and identity politics. As his platform grew, so did the criticism. A vocal group were those further right on the political spectrum who felt he was too moderate. His clashes with the alt-right would culminate in what he considered the greatest insult to a white supremacist.
You are acting like a bunch of just so you know. You act like white. Exactly how you describe black people acting is the impression I get dealing with the alt-right. I'm just not in the mood to deal with this kind of disrespect.
These remarks got him banned from Patreon in 2018, an account he never got back. As if that wasn't enough, the clip recirculated a year later when he attempted to run as a candidate for UKIP. This brought all of his dirty laundry to the forefront, with each and every statement analyzed and litigated on national television, leading to a miserable defeat. Matt Jarbo, formerly Mundane Matt, is an American YouTuber known for his simple coverage of current events. In 2014, he was one of the main contributors to the Gamergate movement. This led him to amass a right-wing, free speech-loving audience. The new viewers gradually turned on him after they lost interest in his commentary, though. This only solidified after he got exposed for reporting videos critical of him on the site. You see, trolls dug through his past, uncovering old anecdotes and eventually a now infamous video from 2011 starring his character, Polly the Polar Bear.
Hey kids, it's me, Polly the Polar Bear, and I'm here to tell you a random word of the day. My word today is that's right, folks, I'm going to tell you about the word.
This backlash led Matt to delete the original in August of 2018, coinciding with the further decay of his channel. Sam Hyde is an American comedian and member of the comedy troupe $1 Million Extreme. He is known for his subversive, politically incorrect comedy, much of which reflect his own views. In 2016, MDE landed a deal with Adult Swim to produce the TV series World Peace. Despite good ratings, it was abruptly cancelled following an article by BuzzFeed highlighting their ties to the so-called alt-right. With that in mind, it's perhaps unsurprising to learn Sam has said the N-word countless times.
I wake up every morning, I put on my fancy clothes, I put on my freshest hat, I put on my nicest wares, okay? At the end of the day, I still get my clothes from a motherfucking bin, still in
MDE recently released their spiritual follow-up to the Adult Swim show called Extreme Peace. Episode 1 opens with a Starbucks barista shouting the N-word, setting the tone for the entire season. Christine Weston Chandler is a notorious internet personality known for creating the webcomic Sonichu. Her peculiar behavior has made her a constant target of trolls for nearly 2 decades, to the point she is arguably one of the most well-documented people in human history. There are wikis and forums devoted to chronicling her entire life, analyzing everything from her mental health to the long list of legal woes she has faced. This would include a page discussing her view of race, as well as, of course, the N-word. The first record of Chris saying it is in a mumble call from February 2009. But for this one, it was simply a quote from the Boondocks. 1 month later, a young troll named Max forced Chris to say the N-word in order to save his true love, Julie. Chris would try to get out of it by replacing the ER with an OS, before finally giving in and dropping the slur.
Louder. Louder. Don't trust them. No, shut up.
That June, Chris referenced Boondocks again by parodying a song by Uncle Ruckus. This new version swapped all mentions of the N-word for homo, all except one.
Them sappy, flappy, dumb homos with their finger on the trigger. Don't trust any homos over there.
Despite early apprehensions, by 2010, Chris was openly calling trolls the N-word. Specifically, it was used against Surf Shack Tito, a Rocket Power character that isn't even black. This would be the last significant example until 2021, when she wrote it out on Twitter to clarify her black character didn't have N-word moments, as she would call them. Joshua Connor Moon, known online as Null, is the owner and operator of Kiwi Farms, a web forum for discussing online people and communities. The site primarily focuses on lolcows, targets they deem can be milked for laughs. Because of this, the farm has faced backlash for allegedly facilitating stalking and organized harassment. Since its launch in 2013, there have been fierce efforts to get the site taken down. This has often veered into criminal actions, sometimes directed at Josh personally. One notorious example is when the site went down for a month in 2017 after violent threats were sent to his entire extended family. And despite the form being legal, they've been blacklisted by payment processors like Visa and MasterCard, making it an extremely unprofitable venture. He has publicly defied governments, casting himself as a free speech martyr, a position that allows the regular use of slurs without further repercussions than he was already receiving. On his site alone, he's made over 480 posts with the N-word. Josh's podcast, Mad at the Internet, has been banned off most platforms for similar language.
And I mentioned this on a stream like a long time ago, and I called him the N-word, and I said he should be set on fire. I think that's what I said about Danny Brown, because he ruined this song, and I found that unforgivable.
Despite its reputation, Kiwi Farms is quietly influential due to their quality archival practices. The lack of recognition has fueled resentment toward those using the site for content. As a result, some users began watermarking their clips and images with the N-word, hoping to halt their spread on more mainstream advertiser-friendly platforms. Mr. Medicare, sometimes referred to as Just Jim, is a YouTuber known for his videos about internet oddities. He's been on the platform for decades, cycling between different aliases. This has made him a somewhat elusive figure, building a cult-like following. Jim's Internet Insanity series was also extremely influential, helping spawn the prospering lolcow commentary industry of today. His content is known for its offensive, politically incorrect humor, which includes casual use of slurs.
The truth is, the ancient Egyptians took us into space first, and we've already established the ancient Egyptians were really black people from Africa. That's right, I'm talking about aeronautical.
After retiring in 2019 to prioritize his ailing health, Jim still makes a comfortable living streaming every so often. Able to turn on his mic at any time and find tens of thousands of live viewers ready to watch. Max Carson, also known as Mr. Girl, is a social commentator who faced widespread derision after uploading a video praising Netflix's widely criticized film, Cuties. This was not Max's first brush with controversy, with his antics previously catching the attention of law enforcement. For this reason, it's perhaps no surprise that he's willing to say the N-word. In 2024, he released the Blackface EP, in which he used AI to change races and rapped about how it felt being black.
Use a dirty ass Android green text. Call me Freddy Krueger, get your dreams wrecked.
The EP found moderate success, although so far none of these tracks have reached the heights of his debut studio album, Boundaries. Dax Herrera is an American comedian best known for playing the hyper-exaggerated misogynist character Dick Masterson. He first gained attention after publishing the book Men Are Better Than Women in 2008. There was enough outcry to secure an appearance on Dr. Phil, where he made a mockery of the program. Clips of this episode would amass millions of views, helping him find a niche following online. He would later find further success co-hosting The Biggest Problem in the Universe, a podcast created by fellow YouTuber Maddox. Dick's sense of humor reveled in provoking others, such as this now-deleted video titled Imagine No Mel Gibson. The song parodies John Lennon's Imagine with lyrics referencing the actor's leaked racist rant.
And it'll surely be your fault when you're raped by a pack of
For the record, we didn't add that censor. Despite this, he deleted the original sometime around 2012. To his credit, there are a surprising lack of clips of Dick Masterson saying the N-word. Beside the Mel Gibson song, which he self-censored, I wasn't able to find examples of him flat out saying it. Rucka Rucka Ali is an Israeli-American rapper known for his parodies of popular songs, many of which played off racial and ethnic stereotypes. His sense of humor is comparable to South Park, mocking everyone indiscriminately and viewing nothing as free from ridicule. Many of Rucka's videos have amassed upwards of 10 to 50 million views, showing a widespread appeal than one might assume given its content. His greatest hits include What Does the Black Say and I'm Afraid of Black People, both of which feature him saying the N-word.
What does the black say?
While an undeniable staple of early 2010s YouTube, in recent years many of these songs have been taken down for violating the platform's newer, stricter guidelines. Still, he continues to make music to this very day, recently releasing an animated video for his Meghan Trainor parody All About That Race, No Egg Roll. Steven Williams, better known as Boogie2988, has been around since the early days of the platform. He first found success playing the role as a destructive, short-tempered gamer named Francis. This over-the-top character was a stark contrast to how he spoke out of character. Viewers were shocked to learn the man behind Francis seemed down-to-earth and kind. By the mid-2010s, Boogie had developed a reputation as being the, quote, Mr. Rogers of YouTube. His channel reached over 4 million subscribers. Of course, as recent years have shown, his wholesome persona may have been largely an act as well. Before he was YouTube's nice guy, Steven got his start designing sites for the adult film industry, even running his own blog as an aficionado. A much seedier origin than most would have assumed, although not necessarily an indictment of his character. Steven also boasted about using 4chan, often flip-flopping between embracing edgy humor and not wanting to offend anyone.
The N-word is just a word. If you guys left and these cameras weren't rolling and I was sitting here alone in the dark and I said the N-word, there's no magic power to it.
So say it.
Oh no, I'm not going to say it on camera where it could hurt somebody. I like offensive humor. I like dark jokes. I say fucked up shit.
In fact, the initial turn against him was in part the result of off-color jokes he made on stream, showing a clear disconnect between Steven and the Boogie persona. This growing cognitive dissonance turned into resentment, which laid the groundwork for his feud with internet troll and real-life cyberbully Frank Hassel. The two first confronted each other on a stream hosted by Ethan Ralph in mid-2020. Unfamiliar with the Sam Hyde Associates' antics, he tried to appease Frank by trauma dumping in a bid for sympathy, but the effort backfired, simply getting him relentlessly mocked throughout the call. That included a moment where Boogie was exposed after claiming he would never use the N-word.
I have a video where Boogie says the N-word right now.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
I will link it.
That tits are part of his belly.
The back and forth escalated rapidly as Frank began saying he would show up at Boogie's house, a threat he would later make good on a month later, prompting Steven to meet him at the door with a loaded revolver and eventually firing a so-called warning shot into the air. Once police were called, the troll left the property and called his rival the N-word in the process, making Frank Hassel the next entry on the list.
Have a good one.
Hey, leave the property. Go.
Yourself,
Go. What the fuck? That's the language you use?
After this, Keemstar launched LolCal Live, a new podcast starring Boogie and the similarly statured Wings of Redemption. Wings is a notorious personality in his own right, getting his start in the 2010s making Call of Duty videos. He was known for making controversial jokes and comments, which included the N-word, making Jordy Jordan the next person on the list.
I am a racist to a point. Fucking why can't you just go marry an 8-foot tall worth $100 million like a basketball player if she's going to fuck some?
Wings and Boogie's unlikely friendship began with a boxing match arranged by Keemstar. LolCal Live was an attempt to monetize their respective falls from grace, with the logic being, if you're gonna get trolled, why not get paid for it? The podcast has since faced controversy over accusations of staged or forced drama. For example, this clip of Boogie saying the N-word is clickbait about him using the word Negro. Another supposed instance comes from a trash-talking segment where it sounds like he dropped a slur casually.
We do eat cat food, but you know what? You also told me you could fight and you lost the wings! So guess what? We both lied, right?
Oh, I had the balls to get in the fucking ring.
Boogie later clarified on Twitter he was saying and insisting he had never said that word and never will. Given that the second part of his tweet is demonstrably false, it's hard to take him at his word on this one, as he undoubtedly has used the N-word in the past. Daniel Larson is an individual known for his erratic behavior and presence on TikTok. He gained attention for making false claims about his music career and celebrity connections. This infamy turned Larson into an online spectacle. He's been a frequent subject of concern due to his clear mental health issues and exploitation by trolls. His frequent public outbursts have led him to be arrested several times. These nonsensical rantings and ravings would often include the N-word.
If you put one hand on me...
Get the f*** out of here!
Okay.
Really? It's going to be like that?
As of the time of writing, Larson has been in custody since 2024 after being arrested on several federal counts of making terroristic threats. Joshua Block, better known online as World of T-Shirts, is a TikTok and YouTube creator from New York City. Block went viral for his erratic live streams and offbeat behavior. Like Daniel Larson, Block has sparked debate online. His alcoholism and possible disabilities have led onlookers to question if he's being exploited. Still, he's gained a cult following from viewers encouraging him to be the worst version of himself for their own entertainment. Take, for example, this candid video of him from a pedestrian in NYC.
I'll fucking kill you! I'm from Brownsville! I'll fucking beat you up! Shut the fuck up!
For years, Block was functionally homeless, staying in NYC after refusing to go back home to his grandpa's house in Long Island. However, as of July 2025, he's been spotted in LA and may even be getting medicated, so who knows what the future holds for this controversial streamer. Eric Liu, better known professionally as ESAM, is a competitive Smash Bros. Player best known for being the best Pikachu main in the world. He became a prominent figure in the Smash community, using his platform to speak on various issues. This would include taking a stance against edgy jokes, to the point of which hunting people over screenshots without verifying if they were even real. In response, a Smash YouTuber by the name of Technicals would unearth clips from 2014 showing ESAM casually using the N-word on stream.
I say way too much. I'm aware of it, I just say it better than most people, so I get like kind of a pass. I'm not just like, man.
Technicals latched onto the phrase N-word go boxing ring, turning it into a video that amassed over 800,000 views. At the same time, ESAM faced backlash from his own community for saying it. There was pressure on his org to drop him, and Nintendo, who previously made him an ambassador, cut ties. For his part, ESAM uploaded a video to his channel titled Accountability.
You know, it was never funny. I should have never thought it was funny or cool or anything like that. The words are hurtful and damaging, and regardless of context, things like this are not okay, especially as a straight white man.
The Smash player wouldn't change much after this ordeal, continuing his pattern of calling out others on social media. He has since become the template of a popular soy jack, used by thousands of people who have no idea who he actually is. Matt Judge, or Dark Viper AU, is a streamer known for his speedruns and content about Grand Theft Auto V. During one such playthrough in 2021, Matt reacted to a line of dialogue spoken by one of the game's protagonists in an extremely regrettable way.
Bullshit. Wait, I said it with an A. Fuck.
He immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD, but the moment had already been clipped and spread online. Given the context and the fact he was immediately apologetic, his fans were largely understanding, viewing it as simply a funny livestream fail and nothing more. Doug Walker is an American comedian best known for creating Nostalgia Critic, a series where he reviews old films and TV shows with humorously exaggerated commentary. The character debuted in 2007, helping pioneer the angry review genre that dominated YouTube in the years that followed. He also founded a collective of like-minded creators called That Guy with the Glasses, which later evolved into Channel Awesome. This helped numerous personalities get their start, from names like Linkara or Spoonie to more well-regarded figures like Dan Olson or Lindsay Ellis. While recent years have made it clear Doug is no stranger to controversy, we'll be discussing a time when his biggest muck-ups were off-color jokes. A particularly infamous example was his 2009 review of Ernest Saves Christmas, where he called a group of children in the film autistic. Doug quickly regretted this joke and cut it out of the video, listing it as his #1 Nostalgia Critic muck-up a year later.
You're missing the autism joke. You know damn well that you made a joke about autism and you tried your hardest never to mention it again. Okay, alright!
However, what the video doesn't mention is the second, often forgotten edit that removed another uncharacteristic remark from the same video. During a scene where Santa Claus meets other inmates in prison, he quips,
Close D.
What's up, my...
Despite appearing in an already controversial review, the backlash over his joke about autistic children completely overshadowed his uncensored use of the N-bomb. There has comparatively been little to no backlash, with this particular joke having no long-term effect on his career. Beyond saying the word, it's not that offensive of a joke, and it's not hard to see why most are willing to give it a pass. Silvermania is a YouTube channel known for its comedic retro nerd-centric sketches. Despite only having 30,000 subscribers, many of their videos went viral in the early 2010s. This is because of its creator and namesake, Justin Silverman, mainly focusing on producing for other online acts. Unlike his associates, such as the Angry Video Game Nerd, Silverman's content leaned more heavily into line-crossing humor. That takes us to the N-word, with several uploads showing him drop it straight into the camera.
I hate the N-word, and by N-word, I mean nerd, not because that would be racist. And I'm not a racist, I have a black friend.
Given nowadays he's more of a behind-the-scenes figure, it's hard to imagine this affecting him in any meaningful way. Mike Matei is an American YouTuber best known for his close friendship with James Rolfe, creator of the Angry Video Game Nerd. The two met in college, becoming lifelong friends. Mike encouraged James to pursue AVGN, helping write and produce many of the earliest episodes. At the same time, because he refused credit, he was often unfairly viewed as a leech by fans. It didn't help that Mike's comedy came off more edgy and obnoxious than AVGN's potty humor. Nothing epitomizes this more than his old webcomic, The Loco Bandito. Inspired by underground comics, he sought to make cartoons embracing gratuitous imagery and racially insensitive humor. That takes us to Careful Where You Stick That Thing, of which the last panel reads, "Ha ha ha ha, that was a bus full of N-words. Now you have AIDS." Mike has apologized for this numerous times since, explaining the first was made in 8th grade, and the rest all throughout high school. In 2020, Mike retired from Cinemassacre, having got his bag. He now streams regularly to viewers on Twitch. Kathleen Lights is a beauty influencer known for her soft-spoken style. She eventually launched her own line of products under the brand Lights Lacquer. Though she mostly stayed out of the drama that dominated beauty YouTube, in 2017 a clip surfaced of her saying the N-word during a private Snapchat. The footage shows Kathleen playing VR while talking to a friend online. At the time, Kathleen apologized on Twitter, stating she wasn't racist and it was a mistake. But this did little to quell the backlash when the video resurfaced in 2021. In response, she posted a video to Instagram stating she finally understood the full gravity of what she had done.
Because that word should have never, ever come out of my mouth. And the honest truth is that I never took the time to fully understand the gravity of saying that word and the pain it causes.
This apology faced criticism as some felt it was a tactical decision not to upload her statement to YouTube. Regardless, it seemed to satisfy most onlookers who swiftly moved on from the story. As you probably already know, Joe Rogan is a stand-up comedian and former TV host who became one of the most influential voices in podcasting. The Joe Rogan Experience, launched in 2009, made him an A-list star. His casual, open-minded style drew millions of listeners, while his guests sparked just as much controversy. In early 2022, Rogan faced backlash for spreading supposedly misinformation about COVID-19. This put heavy scrutiny on Spotify, who had recently signed an exclusivity deal to host the show on their platform. Things took a turn for the worse once a compilation surfaced of Joe saying the N-word over the years.
The thing.
Yeah. Saying the word
you've already said D is just like
saying
she's calling you a it's like this boy that he's a but starts calling them bird.
Joe took to Instagram apologizing for his previous use of the word in a video posted to his story.
Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word.
In response, Spotify would quietly remove 70 old episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience. He would express that he didn't even realize how many times he had said the word over the years. Worcester is an Australian speedrunner and streamer who uploads his gameplay to YouTube. He is known for speedrunning Sonic and Pokemon games. In 2013, while playing through Pokemon Fire Red at the charity event Games Done Quick, he recalled a post he read on 4chan's video game board.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. I saw a post on VG that was, I donated $1,000 if Worcester screamed f***ing on the screen.
And there you go.
That's $1,000, man. Calling you out right now.
It's unclear, but unlikely, they received any of the supposed money. Despite rumors, Worcester was never banned from the event, although GDQ became more strict in the years that followed. Deller, real name Matt Vaughn, is a streamer known for his skill in titles like Overwatch and Fortnite. Before YouTube, he was a professional esports player, ranking #1 in several games. Despite this, he became infamous for his short temper, prone to explosive meltdowns on stream. The most infamous took place in April 2017, after a brutal in-game defeat. After being lectured by a teammate, Vaughn would say the N-word 61 times over the span of 30 seconds.
Oh, wow! You're actually gonna say that!
Now you have my attention.
You walked out.
Later that day, Matt would post on Twitter, "I am sorry, I fucked up. I am done with esports and won't be returning."
He had a press conference later and he said he made an error in judgment.
Shortly after, Toronto Esports terminated its contract with him, a move he fully understood and accepted. With that said, he would continue to have similar meltdowns on stream, getting banned and unbanned from Twitch multiple times in the following years. Still, he continues to play video games for his loyal fanbase, with his YouTube presently at 800,000 subscribers. Short Bloom is a relatively obscure Smash player who would upload gameplay to his YouTube channel. In 2020, a Discord screenshot began circulating on Twitter showing the gamer using the N-word. It received a great deal of backlash, which led Short Bloom, like many YouTubers, to make a response video. What no one could have predicted, however, is what he actually ended up coming up with. On September 21st, 2020, he uploaded "I Worship No God," an edgy montage video of him playing the Mii Gunner in Smash Bros. Ultimate. It also served as his response to the controversy, interspersing these clips with justifications of his use of the N-word, and comparing their offense to religious thinking, hence the atheistic title. Towards the end, he switches to a custom stage of his character's house before laying out more detailed defenses. The video was ridiculed across the web and eventually deleted, becoming known as the racist Mii Gunner video. A year later, Short Bloom uploaded a 30-minute explanation elaborating on his stances, before ceasing all of his public online activity. Shane Dawson is a longtime YouTuber who first rose to fame in the platform's early years. He gained attention for sketch comedy videos that often relied on shock humor.
The word of the day is...
In the late 2010s, Dawson shifted to documentary-style videos covering internet personalities. The series were popular and helped reframe the public image of creators like Jake Paul and Jeffree Star. As his popularity grew, so did scrutiny of his past content. In 2020, several clips resurfaced of him saying the N-word and wearing blackface, though not at the same time.
Oh, monkey woman, you're the best!
This was alongside a history of tasteless jokes about underage girls and zoophilia. Shane would respond with a 20-minute apology on his main channel addressing the public's many criticisms.
Like, I can't even put myself in that head. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be black and to see this white guy do blackface and the whole internet at that time being like, LOL, that's insane. And I am so sorry.
There was enough outcry that YouTube suspended monetization on all 3 of his channels indefinitely. Following this, Shane went on a year-long hiatus, returning in October of 2021. He continues to upload, although his viewership and influence have significantly declined. Jake Paul is a social media personality who rose to fame on the now-defunct app Vine, where his over-the-top pranks and stunts netted him millions of followers. He was able to leverage this into an acting career, landing a starring role on the Disney Channel. Jake carried that success to YouTube, building an empire of daily vlogs catered to a younger audience. From bad diss tracks to public disturbances, he became one of the internet's most divisive figures. That would include saying the N-word during an off-the-dome freestyle rap that surfaced in 2018. The video was shared by TMZ, whose original upload has over 1 million views. They spoke to a source who emphasized Jake wasn't racist and had grown since the clip. This controversy was largely overshadowed by his brother Logan's infamous Japanese forest video, which occurred a week prior. But just as many were ready to write Jake off, he pivoted again, this time into professional boxing. To the surprise of critics, he's raked up wins in the ring, carving out a new identity as a showman athlete. Jeffree Star is a beauty influencer who has been online since the MySpace era. He first gained attention in the mid-2000s for his electronic music and bold style. After fading from the spotlight and facing bankruptcy, Star invested his life savings into starting his own makeup line, Jeffree Star Cosmetics. He began promoting the brand on YouTube through makeup tutorials and other beauty-related content. By 2018, the peak era of beauty drama, Jeffree Star Cosmetics was estimated to be pulling in $100 million annually. During that time, clips from earlier in his career began circulating, which included him making racist remarks and using the N-word.
You stupid ape, I'm gonna spray you. Will you beat that?
In response, the makeup artist uploaded a video simply titled Racism.
It's upsetting, it's nasty, it really makes me sick to my stomach to watch those old videos because what I was saying is not what I represent.
3 years later in 2020, Star came under fire again after photos surfaced showing a swastika he cut into his arm. Under the pseudonym Ice Poseidon, Paul Danino took over Twitch, becoming a pioneer in IRL streaming. They were as influential as they were chaotic. He was such a prominent target of swatting pranks that it eventually led to his permanent suspension from Twitch. That was partially because he was less of a victim and more of an active enabler to the worst of his chat. Needless to say, there wasn't much he seemed above doing.
And it said,
Nowadays, his reputation is in the dirt after a decade of constant scandals, including crypto rug pulls. So where a clip like this of someone else might destroy their career, for Ice it's old news. That takes us to another Twitch streamer named Mizkif, who rose to prominence in 2020 as a founding member of the streaming org OTK. Miz had gotten his start as a cameraman for Ice, a fact most viewers weren't aware of. So when Paul saw his former employee embroiled in controversy, he added fuel to the fire by leaking chat logs of Miz saying the N-word. Given the timing, it was largely overshadowed, having little impact on his career. Now, if he were to get in trouble, it would be more than likely for him saying it in an early stream.
Please play Jesus Christ is my I'm not doing that, man. This is a Christian-only stream right now until the money is delivered.
Ninja, real name Tyler Blevins, dominated the streaming world in 2017 with his record-shattering Fortnite streams. Known for his high skill, energetic style, and blue hair, he quickly became the face of mainstream gaming, breaking Twitch records and partnering with major brands. Bear in mind, he had already been streaming for 6 years. As his audience now skewed younger, he adopted a more family-friendly image. That Fortnite guy with the kooky hair. The first N-word scandal came in February 2018, with a clip of Ninja sharing his thoughts on the Battle Royale's double pump shotgun.
I like
the double
kids,
pump is a move. It's being nerfed.
dying because they want to shoot you on the ground instead of fight me, but yeah.
Many viewers swore he called the double pump a real N-word move, but they were mistaken, with Ninja actually saying the double pump isn't being removed, it's being nerfed. Which, to be fair, makes more sense. The next incident took place 11 days after Ninja streamed with Drake, reaching 628 concurrent viewers and setting a new world record. On March 29, 2018, while rapping along to 44 More by Logic, he accidentally blurted out the N-word on stream.
Going and going like the Energizer. Yeah, I'm supplying the wood like Elijah.
While the immediate defense, of course, would be to point out he's singing lyrics, in actuality, the N-word is not in that song at all. Tyler was quick to issue a response on his Twitter account, apologizing to anyone who felt disrespected. "I promise that there was no malintent. I wasn't even trying to say the word. I fumbled lyrics and got tongue-tied in the worst possible way. Again, I apologize for offending anyone and appreciate you all rocking with me." There were a few close calls after this, but beside that previous instance, they were all cases of being misheard.
Don't stop negging. Don't neg. No one likes a negger. Dude, that sounded, you know what?
Jalen is an American YouTuber known for her videos about trending topics. Her channel took off in 2020, criticizing figures like Dream, Super Mario Logan, and That Vegan Teacher. At the same time, she consistently found herself in drama, getting into feuds with random small-time creators. It was during one such Discord argument she felt overwhelmed and began shouting the N-word.
Also, Ringo's also literally making the same jokes. Like, what the f*** are you talking about? Like, what the f***? Are you retarded?
Ooh.
To give a bit more context, Jalen's argument was that if they were willing to be transphobic, she should be able to say the N-word, as both were targeting marginalized groups, and in her eyes, equally offensive. Of course, most didn't feel the same way. These clips followed her for a long time, in part for their comedic value. In recent years, Jalen has renamed her channel to HexClaw, although she no longer uploads regularly. Darkside Phil, real name Phil Burnell, is a streamer known for his Let's Plays of popular games. Phil first rose to fame in the early 2010s when there wasn't much competition. Even though his videos were unedited and often recorded off a TV screen, he managed to find an audience. Over time, Phil became infamous for his comical ineptitude, blaming everything and everyone for his losses instead of himself. Today, DSP's channel sits at over 7,000 uploads. Throughout, one can find numerous examples of him using the N-word, albeit not in a hateful or derogatory context.
He goes, he was talking about Hulk Hogan is the funniest shit ever. I swear to God, he accidentally calls Hulk Hogan a
Strangely, in 2020, DSP was unexpectedly suspended from Twitch. The stated reason was for using hateful slurs despite no such incident having occurred. Even his trolls agreed the claim was unfounded, although Phil was ultimately forced to wait out the entire 7-day ban. Austin Curtis Peterson, better known online as Bossman Jack, is a streamer known for his intense gambling sessions. A convicted felon, he is known for his violent outbursts after devastating losses. His dedication to online casinos, managing to keep playing them on Discord while on parole, has netted Bossman Jack a small but loyal following. Over time, his antics have grown more and more desperate after burning bridge after bridge. In July 2025, he began to resort to paid racism, saying a message containing the N-word in exchange for $500.
Hey, that Trump and Usain Bolt, those are pedophiles, bro.
Shortly after, he made a statement on Discord apologizing if anybody was offended. As you can guess, it wasn't long until this $500 evaporated into nothing, as is typical for his streams. Max Christensen, known online as Maximilian Dude, is a prominent creator in the fighting game community. He created his channel in 2007, uploading gameplay of titles like Street Fighter and Call of Duty. His experience playing competitive fighters gave him deeper insight into their mechanics. He utilized this to create in-depth tutorials for specific games and characters. These weren't just for pros, having skits mixed in to make them more palatable for newcomers. Shortly after he became a full-time creator in 2011, Max also began streaming on Twitch. There, he had played against viewers online, and sometimes host his own tournaments. That takes us to a broadcast from the fall of 2016, while Max was playing the third-person fighting game For Honor.
The Chinder Tanker. Yes, we got it.
The clip quickly made its rounds on Reddit as well as the discussion board NeoGAF. His response, in which he said he had no idea what people were talking about, only made things worse. It took him ending the stream and reviewing the footage himself to realize what had happened. The next day, Max wrote a public apology on NeoGAF, explaining it was due to a tongue twister gone wrong. It was absolutely not my intention to use this word. It's disgusting, filthy, and I've never intentionally used it ever in my life. Especially when everything about my life, family, and friends is the exact opposite of what the word represents. I can't ignore what I accidentally said, but I'd prefer not to be reminded of it every time I visit the forum I've been a part of for almost a decade. The next day, he went live to face the music, elaborating on how this misspeak came to be.
And as we kept going, and I kept like taking words from the beginning of words and things like Trimble Blamper Nimber Dabber. And then in that one specific moment, I took the word ninja and I took the word ginger. And I took a portion of each word and I mixed them together, which I was doing all night.
This incident largely passed as he has never said the N-word since. Anna Kasparian is a self-titled left-wing political commentator. She's best known as one of the longtime hosts and producers of The Young Turks, an online news show created by Cenk Uygur. Anna joined the program in 2007, quickly becoming one of its most recognizable voices. Although in recent years she's called herself politically homeless, she was well regarded as a progressive voice for over a decade. That makes it somewhat shocking to learn she said the N-word on air, not just once, but 5 different times.
I apologize. I know these are like difficult words to hear, but words like and you are why I lost my job. He only shot a run.
Some of these are clearly in the context of reading other people's hateful words, but the sheer amount of these make it hard not to wonder if they're being coy. This compilation also includes a video of Cenk Uygur as well as his nephew, Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, dropping it as well. To be fair to Hassan, I couldn't find the context for his short clip, so it might be a bad faith cut.
Or that. Okay, so they're like, all right, you cover that Jerry Rice looking.
The last person worth mentioning is Jimmy Dore, who was affiliated with the Young Turks from 2009 to 2019. Dore is also seen in this compilation saying the N-word, rounding out this portion of the video.
He canceled his weekend at N Ranch.
Paul Miller, better known as Gypsy Crusader Online, is a streamer that went viral in 2020 for being the Omegle Joker. An ardent white supremacist, Miller used the website to promote his ideology to strangers while dressed up as famous pop culture icons. As you can imagine, he made heavy use of slurs, live streaming himself repeatedly saying the N-word and making anti-Semitic comments. Prior to his infamy, Miller had been convicted in the past for attempted aggravated assault and drug charges. Despite his criminal record, he would upload images of himself holding various guns on social media, something barred by federal law. In March 2021, the FBI raided Miller's home and arrested him for possessing firearms as a felon. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 41 months of imprisonment. Miller was released 2 years later on parole, falling off the public's radar until 2025. On June 24th, Counter-Strike coach Melanin tweeted that he had been called an N-word at the airport by none other than Gypsy Crusader himself, even providing some videos.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a
Yo, say a little bit louder.
Yeah,
a little bit louder, bro. A little bit louder.
Take a swing.
Yeah. Oh, take a swing, bro. I'm not gonna hit you, bro. You think I'm You think I'm actually retarded? You're a idiot, bro.
The situation was diffused when security arrived to break them up. Melanin's tweet received over 21,000 likes. In response, Paul explained his side of events before once again calling him a slur. His explanation received 50,000 likes. Gotta love Twitter. As a result, Melanin would deactivate his account. Aiden Ross is a streamer known for his collaborations with celebrities and famous influencers. He first rose to fame playing games like Grand Theft Auto and NBA 2K. It was through the latter he would befriend Bronny, the son of LeBron James. From there, he shifted away from video game content, gaining notoriety for trolling rappers by acting sus, which amounts to him pretending to be gay towards them. It's taken him far, with his Twitch channel reaching 7 million followers before he left the platform for Kick. The first instance of Aiden saying the N-word is from when he was 13.
Xbox message can see it though, that's the thing.
As the replies point out, he says it quite frequently, and it's likely he's been saying it his entire life. The next example came in 2023 while he was talking to an OnlyFans model.
Do a spin?
I got you, I got you.
Hey look, it's Polly the Polar Bear again. A few months later, he would let it slip again while rapping Don't Like on stage with Chief Keef. Evidently, Aiden is one of the rare cases where he's been seemingly given the pass, growing up his entire life comfortably saying the N-word. JStation was a creator known for his paranormal videos where he would speak to various figures at 3 a.m. in the morning. Jay is no stranger to controversy, having been arrested twice in his life. During his peak, he was most controversial for exploiting deceased celebrities by claiming to speak to them. Perhaps the most infamous was his video about the late streamer Etika. The sheer amount of tastelessness led most to overlook the fact right before the end of the video, he shouts the N-word.
Hashtag no bitch.
Other videos such as Do Not Call Black Santa at 3 a.m. plays heavily off stereotypes, making it unlikely this was a one-off incident. Regardless, his unethical tactics worked, hitting 6.3 million subscribers before his channel was terminated in 2021 for serious violations of terms of service. Zero Punctuation is a video game review series by Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. It began releasing weekly in 2007, published by the internet magazine The Escapist. This series was influential as a pioneer, with its format inspiring creators like Extra Credits and CGP Grey. It also never truly ended, continuing under the new title Fully Ramblomatic. While much of his catalog is still enjoyed by viewers today, a frequent criticism in recent times has been his casual use of the R-word, but that pales in comparison to a gag from his 2016 review of Mafia 3.
Right, now that we've gotten that out of the way,
At the time, Mafia 3 made headlines for its willingness to portray racism, incorporating dialogue with slurs. In the context of the review, he was criticizing the game's execution, as well as the disclaimer from its publisher upon launching the title. The original upload is still up to this day, having amassed over 1.3 million views. Video Game Donkey is an American YouTuber who gained popularity for his humorous and often satirical gaming-related content. He first rose to prominence playing League of Legends until a permanent ban forced him to explore other games. This proved beneficial in the long run, as his channel now sits at over 7 million subscribers. While nowadays Donkey's real name and face are no secrets, this wasn't always the case. A staple of his older trolling content was the lack of face cam, leaving his appearance up to the viewer's imagination. This led many to assume, due to the way he talked, that the YouTuber was black. It was such a common thought that this idea became a meme within his fanbase.
Last week he leaves this comment and my heart just sank into my stomach. He wrote, "F you, Donkey. I do not watch your videos because you are black."
In actuality, Donkey was a white guy from Wisconsin named Jason. Before launching his well-known YouTube presence in 2010, Jason made two accounts called JMonkey21 and Meatwad Sprite. The latter is also the name of his old Newgrounds, which has activity dating back to 2003. These videos on Meatwad Sprite notably show his face. Of the 4 uploads, the most relevant for today is Fruits and Vegetables Round 1, where he plays a game with an online friend. After defeating his opponent, the ecstatic gamer has a celebratory rant.
Fuck you, guy, huh? Look at this weak ass. Look at him. Look at his speakers. Oh,
Given this is from 2008 and the video is tonally similar to the type of comedy he's known for, it's hard to imagine any fans being turned off by this. Either way, with video proof of him saying the N-word, Video Game Donkey undoubtedly belongs on this list. Polarana is a Russian singer known for her delicate acoustic covers of popular songs. She first started uploading in 2018, getting attention for her rendition of Billie Eilish and Lorde. However, her most popular uploads are all covers of songs by the late XXXTentacion. Her cover of his hit single Moonlight sits at over 23 million views, though not everyone was there to appreciate her talent. What you need to understand is that Moonlight, as well as some of the other songs she's covered, have lyrics with the N-word. Since English wasn't her first language, she didn't realize it was still considered taboo for a white person to say the N-word, even if it was just singing along to a song. Surprisingly, this version is still up to this very day, though she did leave a comment apologizing and expressing she didn't mean to offend anyone. Adam Grant Mason, more commonly known as Adam22, is an online personality best known for creating the No Jumper podcast. Originally getting his start in the BMX community, in 2017 he rose to prominence interviewing up-and-coming underground rappers. Many guests, such as his most famous XXXTentacion, achieved worldwide fame, earning him cred as someone who gave them a platform from the start. That meant a lot when many of these artists were mired in controversies. In recent years, Adam's become notorious for his own myriad of scandals. Many of these have been on purpose, clearly taking pleasure in being a provocateur. But to his credit, he's mostly been consistent in his stance of not messing around with the N-word. As he would say, "Let the record show that I've been relentlessly mocking white boys who say the N-word since I was in junior high." This was said in reference to PewDiePie's heated gamer moment. He also controversially sided against IDubbbz when the Tana content cop first came out. With that said, there are still some instances of Adam using the N-word. The most famous example comes from an interview with DJ Scheme and Wi-Fi's Funeral from 2016. While discussing a song from Future's new album, Adam riffs on a specific line from the chorus.
One of the fucking choruses is "All my pop Zans unemployed."
When the clip resurfaced, Adam's audience was quite understanding. Rather than backlash, he got a bit of ribbing from his friends while he tried to, half jokingly, half seriously, explain the context of the clip and apologize.
It's hard for people to let that go, seeing a white man say on camera. Even though it was years ago, he was reading the lyric. You know what I'm saying? What you want to say to the people, man? Because I know Flacco kind of stole it, but I'm about to dig, though. But go ahead.
It was wrong.
Liar! Liar!
It was wrong.
Liar! Liar!
Even amongst broader accusations of Adam being a supposed racist and culture vulture, the specific accusation of him saying the N-word is rarely brought up against him. From what I've seen, people are more likely to point out him being a cuck as stronger evidence. But that's a subject I've covered at length in a previous video on the matter, so let's move on. Tfue, real name Turner Tenney, rose to prominence in 2018 as one of Fortnite's top competitive players. He quickly became a rival to Ninja in both popularity and performance. Unfortunately, his career was underlined with much more controversy. In his time on Twitch, Tenney would receive 2 different strikes from the platform.
Where did this coon go?
Turner defended himself, stating his comment was due to the player's model looking like a raccoon, and not because they happened to be black. This didn't stop Twitch from giving him a 30-day ban, stating he targeted a black character. His next strike came a few months later in August, although its exact cause was never specified. Twitch is notorious for being vague in how it enforces its terms of service. They suspended his account for 2 weeks. The next incident took place a year later in 2019. On September 2nd, he said an offhand remark while playing Minecraft with friends.
You guys fucking killed all the villagers, man. You suck my dick, man. Y'all motherfuckers killed them.
The clip quickly made its way to livestream fail, where commenters wondered how long he would get banned. Surprisingly, that day never came, with the entire ordeal swept under the rug. Turner to this day has never acknowledged this occurred. The complete inaction from Twitch staff was so unexpected, most speculated there were external factors behind this double standard. You see, just a month prior, Twitch lost Ninja, who signed a $50 million exclusivity deal to stream on Microsoft's ill-fated platform Mixer. This may have made Turner too important to ban over such a trivial incident since they were worried he would leave for the new competitor. The Fortnite pro was able to say the N-word unscathed. Zenblade was a Minecraft player known for his close association to Boomer NA, a streamer who blew up amidst the pandemic. The two played the game mode Bed Wars together, of which the entire time Zenblade claimed to be black. His facade extended to posting fake selfies, as well as posts celebrating Juneteenth. This made for a shocking revelation on January 7th, 2024, when a user named Ava tweeted, "Zenblade is not black. He just profited off of pretending to be and lying to people for years. Happy New Year." A few hours later, Boomer NA himself weighed in, confirming all of her statements were true. Zenblade lied about his race, lying to you all and I included. Attached to the post was a video elaborating on this bizarre discovery.
Zen's not black. Like, genuinely. Like, I FaceTimed him. And I, like, saw him. When that happened and when I found out, I cut him out, man. There's like, what can I do? Like, I was lied to.
While I was unable to find direct proof, Ava, who originally broke the story and is black, would confirm in a reply that he had frequently said the N-word to her. He constructed an elaborate persona, lying about his race, being Muslim, relationships, everything. This had all started when he was 15, first smudging his age and possibly snowballing from there. Of course, that doesn't explain actively trying to make yourself seem black and saying the N-word. But possibly in light of this fact, information about the case has since been wiped from the internet, only available through archives. It seems unlikely that Zenblade will ever return to the public-facing web again. Emily Eustace is an internet animator and self-described disturbed individual. She is best known for her surreal and disturbing works, finding a niche audience on Newgrounds. Bizarrely, Emily found a different type of notoriety in 2016, as a singing pistachio vendor for the Phillies. She was pictured wearing a Make the Phillies Great Again shirt, which led curious denizens to look for her Twitter, revealing that the cartoonist had become an open neo-Nazi and white supremacist. Following media outcry, Emily was fired. She fully embraced her new alt-right audience, starting a podcast with JF Garepi, who ended up firing her for being unwilling to follow the rules and structure of the show. As you can imagine, she is a casual user of the N-word.
As you know, the N-word is the spookiest word of all.
Terry Davis was an American electrical engineer and computer programmer known for creating Temple OS, his own operating system designed to be the third temple prophesied in the Bible. Terry's story is quite tragic, being diagnosed with schizophrenia in the late 90s after several serious manic episodes. This illness took over his life, unable to have productive conversations beside the topic of computers. By 2014, he had moved back in with his parents and was receiving disability checks. That year, he began uploading devlogs to YouTube, broadening his presence online. He amassed a cult following, particularly for his rants about the CIA.
The CIA niggas glow in the dark. You can see them if you're driving. You just run them over. That's what you do.
The evocative language spread across the internet, deriving into the more commonly used pejorative, glowies. He became a beloved figure on 4chan's technology board, especially once he began streaming in 2016. Sadly, this attention also attracted trolls who began messing with him in real life. During his final 2 months, he struggled between homelessness and incarceration. He stopped taking his medication, believing it limited his creativity. On the evening of August 11, 2018, Davis was fatally struck by a train. To this day, it's unclear if his death was an accident. Terry's legacy lives on as an outsider artist, a brilliant mind tragically tormented by itself. Chris Tyson is known for being a member of Mr. Beast's original crew during his rise to becoming the #1 creator on the platform. The two met around 2012 when Jimmy was just 12 years old. Chris became his first subscriber, eventually becoming a staple part of their challenge-based videos. Before his explosive rise in popularity, Mr. Beast originally got big for his live streams, setting out to accomplish laborious tasks like counting all the way to 1,000,000. It was during one of these streams that Chris would be caught in the background saying the N-word.
He said back in like 2008 or 2009.
Jimmy was in tune with the internet's comedic sensibilities, so this interaction wasn't that out of place. He would get in trouble himself years later when clips resurfaced of him reading out chat messages with the F-slur. In the years that followed, Chris grew into more of a public figure, later in a more conflicting light after she announced her gender transition. Chris would depart from Mr. Beast in 2024 following accusations of grooming and sexual misconduct, ceasing online activity. Ryan James Harriman was an American vlogger known for making comedic rap songs under the pseudonym 3Pac. His most well-known song is a diss track against PewDiePie calling him a child predator. It gained renewed attention after its subject, the most popular YouTuber at the time, included it in one of his videos. Ryan was known to use the N-word across social media, making him have a great deal of examples to choose from.
I'm a real ass seen her in the club, getting these figures, yeah.
Tragically, the college student passed away in 2015 after an accident during water polo practice. WestChed is a Russian-Ukrainian YouTuber originally known for playing the class-based shooter Valorant. He rose to prominence discussing in-game skins, later shifting to comedic and drama-oriented videos. This may have been in part due to a heated gamer moment Jed had in 2022.
game for
The streamer swiftly apologized, posting a twit longer in which he vowed to change as a person. He did end up changing, moving away from gameplay in favor of covering general trendy topics. The pivot paid off, with his channel growing 400% over the span of 3 years. Lil Peep is recognized as a leading figure in the emo rap subgenre. Peep first began uploading music to SoundCloud in 2013. By the age of 21, he was an international success, with his second album debuting 4th on the Billboard 200. But like many young stars, the rapper was struggling with demons. Demons that sadly took his life. 2 weeks after his 21st birthday, he overdosed on his tour bus after ingesting fentanyl. Lil Peep has only grown in popularity since his death. His legacy lives on as a young artist who got his start on YouTube before growing into a full-on celebrity. This has brought renewed interest to songs and videos from his early years. The thing is, some of these would come under scrutiny upon resurfacing. The first is a clip of Lil Peep freestyling in the back of a car. It was recorded in 2012 when he was 16.
But I'm killing the rest.
There are also 2 scrap tracks from 2015 titled Sick and Dismiss 'Em, where he can be heard using the N-word. The use of the N-word by white rappers is especially taboo due to regular accusations that they are culture vultures. However, there has never been much controversy due to this usage since he had already passed away by the time people uncovered these clips. Dimitri Raimondo, better known as Greek God X, is an English streamer known for his close association to Twitch titan Tyler1. Dimitri started off as an in-game stream sniper, a term for viewers who try to disrupt the streamer's experience. The two unexpectedly became friends, forming a comedic dynamic that would propel them to stardom. Greek's channel amassed over 1 million followers, going viral on his own for role-playing as a black man in Grand Theft Auto. And I'm sure by now you know where this is going.
Yeah, buddy nigga black.
Whoa! As a tongue-in-cheek joke, this was easy to excuse, but over time many would sour on Greek, finding his persona grating, especially as it became clear he could dish it out but couldn't take it. He went on increasingly controversial rants, usually directed at women, leading him to rack up 4 consecutive bans on Twitch. It's been years since he last spoke to Tyler1, who is now a father moving away from non-stop streaming to spend time with his wife and kid. And with that, we conclude today's list. What I learned researching this video is that the response a creator gets for this social infraction comes down to so many nuances. The context in which they said it, if they're seen as a moral authority, how long ago it was used, if they didn't apologize enough, if they over-apologized, and if people were looking for a reason to take them down prior to the use. Because of this myriad of variables, some of these became the biggest story of the day and deeply impacted the creator's career, whereas there's other YouTubers listed here that barely received any pushback, and I had to dig really deep to even find the clip of them saying it. Regardless, I think the rule of thumb should be if you're a white YouTuber, you should probably just not say it. Insightful commentary, I know.